me fix this. Oh yeah, that's where it's at. Hey guys, it is evening here in Australia. As I'm recording, it's evening time. I don't do many evening videos, but this is a highly requested video. Every time I ask you guys what videos you want from me, cook with me's are among the most requested. And I'm not a chef and I'm not that great at cooking, but this TikTok trend video of the pasta and the feta cheese and the tomato is right up my alley. So tonight we're making it. I have made it before and it was amazing. I do add a few extra little things in with the dish, so I'm gonna go ahead and make it. But this video, I'm doing a lot of hand gesturing. This video isn't just about cooking, cook with me. It's not gonna just be a cook with me video. It's going to be like mixed in with a bit of a chat about mum guilt and mental health. So yeah, I thought that I'd spice things up a little bit and do a little bit of both. So this is what I use in the dish. I've got some spinach, some tomatoes, obviously, some feta back here, olive oil, salt and pepper. I also add mixed herbs, and you've got your pasta and basil as well. So those are all of the ingredients that I incorporate into mine. I'm in my PJs. I'm looking like a hot mess because I just had a shower and it's the evening time, like I said. And I wasn't gonna get all dolled up after having a shower for the night. So I look like someone that lives under a bridge, like a troll, but you know, this is what my night times look like. It is now 6:20 in the evening and I'm gonna get started. The first thing I'm gonna do is turn my oven on. Now my oven is terrible, like really, really bad. So I usually have it on about 220 when I cook, but the recipe calls for 180, but I'm gonna keep it on 210 because like I said, my onion, what the hell? My oven is terrible. And last time I cooked this, it just turned off. It just turned off after I put it in there. I just decided it didn't want to be on anymore. And I cooked nothing for 30 minutes. So let's hope that doesn't happen again tonight. So you guys have probably seen the hack on TikTok, but I'm gonna just show you what I'm gonna do anyway. It's like the easiest pasta dish ever and it's so yummy. So you're gonna pop your entire block of feta in the middle of your like pan or your baking dish. I'm using Danish feta because it's my favorite. And then you're going to add your cherry tomatoes. I have 2 punnets, so that is how many I'm putting in there. And then what you're gonna do is just grab your olive oil and, I mean, everyone's seen the video by now, right? Like, everyone's seen that TikTok video? I also forgot to mention a very important ingredient, and that is garlic. I love garlic, so I go nuts with this stuff. I just recently bought a new garlic press. This is what it looks like. This is the old one that I used to use, like the old school, like handle one, but I found that it would leave so much waste in there. So I bought this, I think I've got it off Amazon. If I can find it, I'll link it down below for you guys, but I bought this off Amazon, I think, and it has literally 0 waste on the garlic. So I love this thing so much. Let me show you what I mean by there's 0 waste. When you get your garlic clove, you just like mush it like this. That is it. There's nothing left. All of it's on this side of it. This is obviously the side you use. So I highly recommend this garlic crusher or garlic press, whatever you call it. Zero waste, all garlic. Then you add your garlic around. This is how I make it. If you make it differently, it's fine, but this is how I make it. Add my garlic on there. I add some pink Himalayan salt. You really don't need heaps because the feta is salty, but I love salt, so add some pepper. I also add mixed herbs in. And then I just give it like a bit of a, give the tomatoes a bit of a stir to mix in the garlic and the olive oil and the herbs and the salt and the pepper. I flip this around as well. Just give it another little drizzle of olive oil so that it's covered in it. Just add some herbs to the top of that as well. And I just chuck this in the oven for half an hour. Now I'm just gonna add a pot of water to the stove and turn it on. And then in 10 minutes, when that's boiling, I'll add my pasta. Now, as my water boils, as I promised, I'm going to sit down and talk about mum guilt and mental health just for a second. The most random cook with me ever. I am no expert in how to deal with mum guilt. I'm going to put that out there. But I feel like I'm an expert in experiencing mum guilt and and anxiety like surrounding motherhood. So if you're watching this thinking you're going to get the answers on how to deal with it, you're not. But I just want you to know that you're not alone, and it is completely normal to experience a whole array of feelings and like emotions when you're a mother. Obviously there's help available. You can go to the doctor and speak to them about a mental health plan or like whatever you want to do or you think is best for you. I personally haven't done that. I feel like I probably should, but I haven't. The guilt and the anxiety that I feel in motherhood it's indescribable because it comes from so many different places as a mother in this day and age with information readily available on the internet, at your fingertips, on your phone. Everyone's very quick to tell you you're doing something wrong. And that's, for me personally, makes me feel like I'm scared that I'm screwing up my children by not feeding them organic food. I do lose my crap sometimes and yell, and that's like a big no-no to some people. Discipline's a huge thing that I struggle with. Their diets, I feel like all they eat is like crackers and chocolate cereal and muesli bars. And then you see these mothers on social media or just people on social media feeding their children like organic this for breakfast, and they like go through all what their kids eat in a day, and my kids just don't eat that. Especially we do have a picky eater in the family, and they just don't eat that, and I can't. It makes me feel like crap, and that's where a lot of my mum guilt comes from, is their diets and also like everything. It's not just their diets, it's literally everything. Anyone is like soon to jump at you and say you're doing that wrong, and it makes you feel like you're gonna mess your kids up. Especially being in the type of work that I'm in, where I am on social media quite a lot, and I see these things a lot of these perfect mums. It just makes me feel like crap. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm the only one. But my mum guilt mostly stems from I feel like I'm screwing up my children and I don't know what to do about it. I tell myself every night when my kids go to bed, I'm going to do better tomorrow. I won't raise my voice. I won't yell. And although that it has been getting better, especially as Tilly has been developing and growing older and she can communicate now, she has less meltdowns, it has been getting better, but I still raise my voice sometimes. And then I feel like crap afterwards, and it's like a vicious cycle, if that makes sense. So with the mum guilt, I guess we just have to try and remind ourselves that no one's perfect. Every day that the kids come out alive is a good thing. Our parents, or like previous generations, didn't have the internet to tell them that they were doing things wrong. So I feel like the anxiety and the like guilt surrounding parenthood was probably not as severe back in the day because they didn't have these perfect mothers on social media, or these like keyboard warriors or whatever you want to call them, telling them that they're messing their kids up, telling them they're doing everything wrong or whatever. You connected with people back then. So it was, you'd go to your friend who has kids and be like, oh, this and that and this. And most of the time your friend would be like, oh my God, my kid too, how annoying is it? And you can relate to them on a personal level instead of having these people who don't even know you sit behind a keyboard telling you you're doing things wrong with your kids, if you know what I mean. Mum guilt is also a big thing when it comes to me being on my phone and being on social media. I am on my phone a lot because of my job. I'm editing a lot because of my job. I'm constantly on my computer and on my phone. And I feel really bad when my kids are at me being like, mummy, 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 and like, can you play with me or whatever? And I just can't because I'm in the middle of working. So that also gives me a lot of guilt. Hopefully that hasn't taken up the entire video, me just sitting here talking about mum guilt and mental health. But mental health is definitely something that I struggle with. I'm not diagnosed with anxiety, but I know I have anxiety, and I'm not medicated or anything like that for anxiety. If you are concerned at all for yourself, just go to your doctor and speak to them about it. When I went to my doctor and spoke about it, basically what she said was I wasn't looking after myself and I wasn't drinking enough like fluids and eating enough good food, or like sleeping enough or exercising enough, which I already knew. So when I get on top of that, I'll let you know. Okay, back to the cook with me portion of this random video. I'm going to pop the pasta in there now because it's been 15 minutes of it being in the oven, and cook the pasta. I'm just using penne pasta. You can pretty much use whatever pasta you want. I think that should be enough. I use most of it. I'm the worst at trying to figure out how much pasta to cook. I always cook way too much. Also, the stove is still turned on, so that's good news. Hopefully it stays on and cooks it properly. I'm also gonna add some table salt to the pasta because apparently I have a salt addiction and I didn't, you know, I can't get enough of it. I know I put it in the dish as well, but I'm probably gonna die of a heart attack one day. That's how I'm gonna go, guys. While the pasta's cooking, I'm going to wash my basil. And then I'm just going to cut some off and roughly chop it up. This basil looks so gross, but I literally bought it today. You know what? I'm not a picky eater. I find that a lot of Aldi's products are like this. This is why I shop at Coles now. That's one of the reasons. I think that's enough. I'm pretty sure that's all I'm going to get of usable basil. I'm going to use a bigger knife. Like I said, I'm not a chef. Don't judge my cooking skills and my cutting skills. That's probably why my knives are blunt all the time. I can just see the comments now of everyone telling me I'm doing this wrong. So now I've got the basil and the spinach ready to go when I pull it out of the oven. Okay, the pasta's ready now and it's been half an hour, so I'm gonna turn the stove off. It looks like it actually may have cooked, which is great. Not as good as a normal oven, but better than nothing. I'm just gonna quickly wash the pasta. Take this out. And then I'm gonna add my basil and some spinach. I'm gonna just chuck it in like that and stir it around and see how we go. As I said, my stove is crap, so the feta hasn't fully melted, but that's what I deal with when it comes to my oven. And if you guys cook with spinach, you know that it melts down or like withers down so much when you cook it in heat. So even though it looks like a lot now, once you've stirred it for a bit, it doesn't look like much at all. So I'm gonna just keep stirring until there's not giant bits of spinach everywhere. Okay, now I'm gonna add some pasta, because what's a pasta dish without pasta? Just a dish. And as you can see, the feta starts to cover all of the pasta, which is like, yum, it's perfect. I feel like the feta is where most of the flavor comes from in this dish. So as you can see, I still have heaps of pasta left. I suck at determining how much pasta to make. I'm just gonna add a little bit more, just so I'm not wasting so much. And I feel like the feta can go a little bit further. Perfect. So as you can see, the spinach has basically wilted down to nothing, but this is the yummiest dish, guys. And adding spinach to it just gives it a little bit more nutrients. Gotta balance that unhealthy salt intake with some spinach. This is honestly my new favorite dish. Thank you, TikTok. I'm yet to freeze this and reheat it later on, so I don't know how it freezes, but that's what I plan on doing with the rest of that, and then eating it over the next week. while it's just Evie and I. Evie really likes this dish, but it has a lot of salt in it, so I try and minimize how much I give it to her. Guys, it's so good. Lily doesn't like cheese, so I don't think she would like this dish. And Jet wouldn't like it because it's got tomato and spinach in it, but I like it, so I'll just cook it for myself, and it's so easy. Anyway guys, that's the end of the most random video in the world. I'm sorry I look like a potato, but this dish is delicious. You guys should go try it if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow our journey. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!